Leo Rialp, the veteran Filipino actor and television director, has spent decades in Philippine entertainment without becoming a figure known for personal scandal. In fact, one of the most notable aspects of his public life is the absence of major controversies surrounding him. Rialp has consistently maintained a low profile, keeping his family, relationships, finances, and private affairs away from the spotlight. When his name has been associated with controversy, it has generally been because of the subjects tackled by his artistic projects or the characters he has portrayed. One prominent example came with the stage play Grace, the late Floyd Quintos's critically acclaimed production about the controversial 1948 Lipa Marian apparitions. Rialp portrayed Monsignor Egidio Vagnosi, the papal nuncio who became involved in the investigation and suppression of the reported apparitions. His role placed him at the center of a production that revisited a long-running and sensitive religious controversy in Philippine history. Rialp has also frequently been cast as stern authority figures, wealthy patriarchs, judges, corrupt officials, and other commanding characters. In films and television dramas, some of these roles have involved political corruption, family conflict, social scandals, and other provocative subjects. However, these controversies belong to the fictional worlds of his projects rather than to Rialp's personal life. His off-screen reputation has remained that of a disciplined and private professional. Born on March 2, 1947, although some databases list March 20, 1947, Leo Rialp grew up in the Philippines and eventually became one of the country's respected figures in theatre, television, and film. Much of his early family background remains private. He has not publicly revealed extensive information about his parents or siblings, choosing instead to allow his professional accomplishments to define his public identity. His passion for performing began when he was still a student. Rialp has recalled that he became fascinated with theatre in grade 7 while attending Ateneo de Manila. One of his earliest memorable experiences involved participating in a school production of Light Cavalry, where he even dressed as a nun for a performance. What began as a school activity eventually developed into a lifelong commitment to the performing arts. His education continued within the Ateneo system through his formative years. During this period, he was surrounded by classmates and contemporaries who would later become influential figures in Philippine media and entertainment, including television director Johnny Manahan. Although precise details about his degrees and graduation years are not widely publicized, his years at Ateneo played an important role in shaping his artistic interests. Rialp's education did not end in the classroom. Some of his most important artistic training came through mentorship. He learned from respected Philippine theater and film figures, including Rolando Tinio, Nestor Torre, Tony Mabesa, and Ishmael Bernal. Their influence helped develop the discipline and versatility that would eventually characterize his career. After completing his studies, Rialp married and started a family. This period became a major turning point in his professional life. Theater had given him artistic fulfillment, but the financial rewards were not enough to comfortably support a growing household. Faced with the responsibilities of providing for his wife and children, he began looking for a more stable career path. That search eventually led him behind the camera. Rialp transitioned into television directing and gradually established himself as a highly experienced director in Philippine broadcasting. His television career lasted for decades, allowing him to work on major productions and musical programs. Among the projects associated with his directing career was Ryan Musikahan, an iconic musical television program, as well as musical specials involving the celebrated Filipino group APO Hiking Society. Although television directing became a major part of his professional life, Rialp never abandoned theater. Instead, he developed a rare career that allowed him to move between directing, stage performance, and screen acting. His theater career includes work with respected institutions such as Dulaang UP and PETA. Over the years, he took on demanding roles that required considerable dramatic range. His stage credits include portraying Governor General Taft in Ang Huling Lagda ni Apolinario Mabini, appearing as the Caratela King in Mga Ama, Mga Anak, and taking on significant roles in productions such as Herring Lear and Arbol de Fuego. In 2024, Rialp appeared in Grace, where he portrayed Monsignor Egidio Vagnozzi. The role required him to engage with historical, political, and religious themes surrounding the Lipa Marian apparitions. His performance demonstrated the depth of experience he had accumulated throughout his long theatrical career. Rialp also established himself as a respected character actor in Philippine cinema. Rather than pursuing stardom as a conventional leading man, he often chose selective supporting roles that allowed him to contribute his experience and authority to a production. His film credits include Gomberza, in which he portrayed Padre Jose Mosqueda, as well as Hiblang Abo, Kimi Dora, Bride for Rent, and Finally Found Someone. He has also appeared in independent productions that tackle socially sensitive and controversial subjects. One of his most significant cinematic achievements came through Hiblang Abo. In 2016, Rialp shared the Cinemalaya Balangay recognition for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role with veteran actors Lou Veloso, June Urbano, and Nanding Joseph. Their collective performance became one of the notable achievements of Rialp's later acting career. His work continued to attract critical recognition. In 2024, he received a nomination at the Emmys for Best Supporting Actor, demonstrating that his decades of experience had not diminished his ability to deliver compelling dramatic performances. Beyond Hiblang Abo, Rialp has participated in projects dealing with difficult social issues. He appeared in productions such as Finding Daddy Blake, a queer dramatic thriller involving social media personalities and an online sexual predator, and Whistleblower, which explored political corruption and the misuse of public funds. These projects added another dimension to his career as an actor willing to participate in challenging material. On television, Rialp has made appearances in productions including Maalala Mo Kaya, Almost Paradise, and the 2026 series Someone Someday. His imposing screen presence has made him particularly effective in roles involving authority, wealth, family power, and institutional influence. Despite his extensive career, Rialp has deliberately kept his private life away from public scrutiny. He married after completing his studies at Ateneo de Manila and eventually became a father. However, the identities and professional backgrounds of his wife and children have largely remained private. His family also played an important role in his decision to pursue television directing. The need to provide for his growing household convinced him that relying entirely on theater was financially impractical. Television offered him a more dependable source of income while allowing him to remain within the creative industry he loved. Unlike many celebrities whose personal relationships become part of their public image, Rialp has maintained a clear boundary between his professional and private lives. He has rarely discussed his family publicly and has avoided placing his wife and children in the entertainment spotlight. The same discretion applies to his finances. Rialp's exact net worth has never been publicly established through a reliable source. There are no authoritative public records detailing his complete earnings, investments, properties, or assets. Estimates based on general industry salaries should therefore not be presented as his actual wealth. What is clear is that his long career has provided several professional sources of income, including television directing, film and television acting, and theater work. His decades of employment in Philippine entertainment have given him a level of professional stability, although the precise value of his accumulated wealth remains private. There is similarly little reliable public information about his personal real estate holdings or home. Rialp has not publicly disclosed specific properties or a residential address, and respecting that privacy is particularly important given his long-standing decision to keep his family away from the media. Ultimately, Leo Rialp's story is not one defined by scandal, but by endurance. From a grade 7 student who discovered theater while performing in a school play, he grew into a veteran of Philippine stage, television, and cinema. He learned from some of the country's most respected artistic figures, built a career in theater, moved into television directing when family responsibilities demanded greater financial stability, and later became a familiar character actor in both mainstream and independent films. His career has crossed generations and mediums. He has stood on theater stages, directed television productions, appeared in acclaimed films, and taken on challenging characters dealing with politics, religion, family power, and social conflict. Perhaps the most remarkable part of Leo Rialp's career is the consistency with which he has remained focused on his craft rather than celebrity. While many entertainers become known as much for their private lives as their professional achievements, Rialp has taken the opposite path. He has allowed his work to speak for him. After decades in the industry, he remains respected as an actor, director, mentor, and theater practitioner whose contribution to Philippine entertainment extends far beyond any single role or production. His legacy is ultimately one of versatility, professionalism, and remarkable longevity.